25% of all persuasion involves a subconscious trigger. Wow. I like this person. I don't like this person. I trust this person. I don't trust this person. Isn't it a feeling inside? You ask them, why did you buy the BMW? Well, it's got a high resale value, and it's a very safe car. Is that why they bought it? No way. So we have these subconscious triggers, and what's out there? What's working? What's not working? So what I wanted to do is come up with a comprehensive resource, comprehensive tools, because here is the truth. No more sugarcoating. Average person uses 2 to 3 persuasive techniques over and over again. Your top producers are using 5 to 6. As Abraham Maslow says, if the only tool in your toolbox is a hammer, you treat everybody like a nail. How many of you own a post hole digger? Let me see your hands. Post hole digger. Do you use it quite a bit, or the one time you bought it? The one time you bought it. A post hole digger, it's just a thing to make holes. But when you need it, you need it. So what I'm saying, if you have the one tool that gets somebody into your system as a customer, as a client, it's worth it. Have as many as possible. So there's a lot of different camps out there. As you notice through the different speakers, a lot of different styles, a lot of different camps. And what is the comprehensive resource? So you have the Dale Carnegie camp, learn people skills. Now that's a small piece of the persuasion pie, but if that's the only thing you have, you're making a lot of friends and making no sales. Then we hear, learn closing skills. Not a big fan. Now there's a time and place for closing skills, but the reality is, closing skills is like trying to get a kiss after a bad date. You've blown it someplace else. Then there's power. Use power, force your way. Now, is power good or bad? It depends. Is gravity good or bad? Depends if you're falling or if you're walking. Now, power is interesting because when you become an expert, that gives you power. Does their knowledge give them power over you? When the mechanic says you need to change your blinker fluid, you're not sure to believe him or not? What about a doctor's white coat? Does that give him power? The degree on the wall? My good friend graduated from medical school, went through residency. He was in Pennsylvania, and I had lunch with him. I said, how's it going? He had just opened up practice with 3 other doctors, having a good time. I said, is it all you expected? Is it a lot of fun? What do you think? And he's like, it's the most amazing thing. I have my degree on the wall, and I can walk in the room with a white coat to a perfect stranger and say, please take off your clothes, and they do. You've been taught your whole life not to strip in front of strangers. Like, whoop, white coat, you're naked. Have you thought about that? That's power, isn't it? They'll just start listening to you. And that can be a good thing, but it's only a small piece of the persuasion pie. Then there's trust. Another small piece of the pie. Learning to get people to trust you. And we'll talk about that today. Personality types. Everyone's different. Have you realized we all think differently? It's important. You always want to use the same presentation over again. You want to change it up. Or offering incentives. If be careful with that one, every once in a while that will work. But incentives also, you have to be careful how you use it, because once you offer an incentive, what do they always expect? Incentive. What do you think is destroying our school programs? Kids aren't reading because they're like, oh, our kids aren't reading. Let's give them pizza. So you reward them with pizza for reading, and guess what they aren't doing unless you give them pizza? Reading, same type of thing. Fear. Is it okay to use fear when you persuade? Depends on the situation. Now, what I'm saying is it shouldn't be your only tool, or if a dentist says only floss the teeth you want to keep. Is that okay? So, a small piece. And, of course, NLP. You know what NLP stands for what? Okay, another small piece of the persuasion pie. You want to comprehend neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro-linguistic programming. So there's 2 paths to persuasion. Emotion and logic. Are we mostly emotional or logical creatures? Do we admit it? Can we tell the difference? It's fuzzy. In fact, we talked about a study. They took college students and gave them a very controversial topic. In this half, they said, write a very logical appeal. In this half, they say, write an emotional appeal. So controversial topic, logical appeal, and emotional appeal. Then they showed the video to other students, and they said, okay, can you tell if it's logical or emotional? And guess what they found out? They couldn't tell. They couldn't tell. And this is what it came down to. If they agreed, it was logical. If they disagreed, it was emotional. Isn't that interesting?